one big old lump. So let me know when you're ready to start.
I'll start. My timer says 4 right now. I'll start when it says 10. So 5.
Okay.
Welcome to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. Guess what? There are no parents in the building tonight. It is just me and Ken Miller, the godfather of Orlando comedy. So let me let you know, there's been zero preparation.
None.
This will not be taken seriously
at all.
And you are going to be on a wild entertainment ride, because I guarantee the 2 things that me and Ken know how to do is make you laugh and stay off subject. So you're gonna have a blast. In fact, I wish this was a live show so you could call in and be like, "Hey, MFers, finish that story you started in segment 1."
Or call in and give us something to talk about.
Yeah. That's how we would do a telethon. It'd be a talkathon. Just call in.
Hey, why you BSing? If anybody listen to the show knows that we pre-record these shows, and we're actually recording on Labor Day, which means it would be a telethon. Remember the Jerry Lewis telethon?
Yeah.
Like I was excited for that as a kid. I don't even know why.
I don't know why I was excited for all that stuff as a kid. I remember when they did, they used to do, I don't remember if it wasn't just for laughs. It was the one for to feeding the homeless. And it would have like Billy Crystal.
Yeah. HBO.
Yeah. And I couldn't get 90% of the humor. Yeah. And I was like, this is good. This is good.
Yeah. Okay. Feed the homeless, HBO.
You remember that though, because it was always Billy Crystal and Whoopi Goldberg. I remember.
Comic Relief.
Comic Relief,
yeah, Comic Relief for the homeless. It ran from 1986 to 2011.
I feel bad because it didn't come up with a cure.
Yeah,
you know? I just went to Austin,
hungry, bro.
It's done.
So check it though, but it changed over the years, right? So the first 4 from 86 to 90 were all like Comic Relief.
Yeah.
And then in 91, they decided, what the hell? Let's do a comedy salute to Michael Jordan.
They were like, hey, listen, man, we trying to feed these homeless people and it ain't working out. But I'm seeing a future for this kid. This Jordan kid, I'm seeing a future for, okay?
This Jordan kid, I see something in him.
Yeah.
Then the next year, it went to Hurricane Relief for Florida. Then it went back to Comic Relief. Then, for some reason, it took another turn. It went Baseball Relief.
Hey, that was before steroids in baseball. So they were like, hey, look, man, we got to figure this out.
Yeah. So then after Baseball Relief, we go back to Comic Relief. Then they had American Comedy Festival, Comic Relief, and then took another one. Comic Relief. Wow, the concert for animals.
Just for animals too. Hey, it didn't even say like protecting a single animal, endangered animals, helping animals. No, just for animals.
It was Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah.
Then it was like Greatest Hits, and then 2010 Comic Relief, and that was it.
I can imagine the For Animals one. It was like just a mixture of like animal lovers, dope boys going there thinking they were going to buy a cobra. They were like, hey, man. Billy Crystal said, y'all got cobras over here, yo. I love City Slickers.
I heard y'all got anacondas up in here. I want one of them J-Lo anacondas. Yeah, I get a J-Lo anaconda. The one that like the anaconda that like rap music.
He's like, I already came in here with the measurements for all my seats. So if you want to just tell me how many anaconda I gotta buy, because I'm gonna get this thing looking fresh.
Oh, man.
What up, Billy Crystal?
Yeah, so it is Labor Day, and we are recording on Labor Day. So
I'm proud of us.
Still on?
I don't think so. Nobody watches TV, man. Nobody watches TV, and nobody can watch it for 24 hours. Like telethon now, it's going to be on demand. You know, like when you watch that telethon, now I'm gonna watch a couple episodes later. You know.
Yeah, I because it's been so long. The MDA Labor Day telethon, and it's been so long. I think last time I might have watched it was in the 90s when I left home.
You know, the kids were
really look forward to look like it was on all day. Usually about 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis got his tie unbuttoned.
Damn, you know what I mean? Cocktail. Telling racy stories. He's like, me and Sammy Davis Jr. had 2 Chinese twins. You all should have been there.
Yo. That's funny. Yeah. So it ran from 1966 to 2014.
I wonder. I mean, they must have raised so much money for like help for muscular dystrophy, because like that was the telethon.
There was a telethon. That was, I mean, and you look for it every year on Labor Day.
Yeah.
To see it.
I wonder if kids started getting nervous though when Jerry started getting older and looking sick. They're like, "Nah, man, come on," because they knew nobody was gonna keep it going.
Yeah,
it wasn't gonna be like Regis Philbin, like, "I got you, kids."
Yo, check this out. So, 1959, the first year that they did it, they raised $575,000.
That's 1959 money, so I'm guessing that's probably like 3 million, 4 million.
Do you understand? It went from like 500,000, and then next year a million, and then two. And by the time they hit the 70s and 80s, they were up to raising $50 million. The most they raised was in 2003. No, 2008. They raised $65 million.
That was the housing crisis. So that was people trying to like get some cash hidden up. Like, you look, it's nothing but real estate brokers on the phones. Like, yeah, hey, but let me talk to you real quick about this though. I know you want to help these kids. What do you think about getting a condo in Florida?
Yeah, right.
I always like how they almost had all the celebrities on the panel answering the phone. You could call 900,000 times. You were not going to get Will Smith.
No, you were going to get me.
Yeah, or Ted Cruz
doing a voiceover as Will Smith. Me doing a Will Smith voiceover,
and not even doing it right, like just a little off, you know?
Yeah. What's up, yo? This Will.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Nah. Yes,
right. I start singing his hits.
Yeah, you know that's how Will Smith be answering the phone, just singing Wild Wild West. You know?
Yeah. I get Dorian Gale to do the voices. Like somebody called and have Dorian doing the impression of Chris Rock. But they raised, dude. Looking at the Wikipedia, I'm talking about they raised well over $1 billion. If you add all this up, dude, I'm talking about well over $1 billion they've raised for MDA.
I'd love to meet like the really cruel like corporate accountant that's sitting down with them. He's like the young a-hole, and he's just sitting there and he's like, "So you raised $1 billion for muscular dystrophy, and what, we're done with it? Oh, it's still out there? Then I think this project is a waste."
Not one kid has been cured.
Yeah.
Hey, what Chris Rock said, not one kid been cured, but Jerry got a full set of black hair.
Yeah.
Where's the money going, yo? He said, you can prop a kid up or something, yo.
Yeah. I would have been getting them exoskeletons. They would have looked like little Gundams.
Yeah. Get him Iron Man suit.
Yeah. The kid comes walking out like the first time RoboCop got debuted. Like,
yeah.
They look at all his features. And he takes the mask off and he's like, "Kill me." Put the mask back on. Put the mask back on.
Oh, girl, we got billions, yo. You got to put on this exoskeleton.
Yeah. I don't want to put the exoskeleton. We need to raise more money. You put the exoskeleton. This one makes him break dance. He does like a full twist. It just breaks his spine. Like,
oh, like Iron Man, bro.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But yeah, man, looking at the numbers, dude, they've done pretty good, man. Like,
have you ever participated in a telethon in any way? Like, man, the phones or anything?
Oh, heck no, bro. Nah,
bro, I did the Monsters one. I did the Monsters in the morning telethon a couple years. And
what was that telethon for?
I don't remember what their charity was, if it was Feed the Homeless or if it was from Heart. They do it every year in like December. You can see how into it I was. That I'm like, I don't know. and it's funny because you're
answering the phone.
I'm like, "Hey, what up, yo? What's up, man? Yeah, man, we trying to help these kids." They're like, "I thought it was for cancer." Whatever, dog. Whatever. You want to talk to Will Smith? Hey, yo, it's Will Smith. No.
Hey, it was like this, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, they were like, "Hey, man, wait, hey, I thought this was for cancer." Hey, bro, whatever you want to donate to.
Yeah.
We put the money wherever you want to put it. Sickle cell,
yeah, whatever, dog, man. A little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah, I got a hot stock tip if you're really into it, dog. Got these exoskeletons. They moving fast.
Yo, I got these NFTs of Jerry Lewis if you want one.
The darker the hair, the more valuable the NFT. I did we did the telethon, and it was weird because it's exactly what you think telethons are going to be like. Like the Monster Telethon is really legit too. I want to say, dog, was like $25,000 raised in 24 hours, man. You know,
Nice.
like yeah, man. It was about it. When the monsters do stuff, they make it happen. So I was proud to be a part of it, even though I can't tell you what it was for. I was still proud to be a part of it, you know. But I remember when you answer the phones, it's like it's ranging everywhere from we're gonna take a credit card payment, we're gonna take any payment you can, and people are literally calling you up and they're like, how do I get you cash payments? And I'm like, hey, you just come down to the parking lot, you tell me when you gonna get here.
Right. Tell me when you gonna get down here. I walk right on down, I take your cash. They
Yeah.
were like, yo, this dude Miguel going mad breaks.
Yeah. I'm like, hey man, you know I got P again sitting down on his phone.
Yo,
Yeah, people would
Coalition
ask
for
them.
the Homeless of Central Florida.
Okay, Coalition for the Homeless.
I don't know if this is an old one, my brother, but December 18th.
December 18th. Okay. I mean, I
Yeah.
did it 2 or 3 years while I was on the Monsters in the morning. And I tell you what, it was cool though, man. They got people. They had. I brought this girl Daisy, my homegirl, because they were like, if you know somebody that has really good talents, bring them because we want them to be on the radio and just they 24 hours, you know. So I brought my homegirl Daisy, and she plays acoustic guitar, and she is this cool Filipino chick who lived in Nashville. So she got all these upbeat, like funky guitar stuff. So I brought her, and I was like, "How would you like to be on the radio?" For when I got on the radio, I started being that dude, like, "Hey man, I'm bringing everybody who wanted to be on the radio. You get on the radio, dog. You get on the radio. I'm gonna at least have the legacy if I put you on." I brought her on, and I thought she was gonna play one of her little funky beats. She plays this acoustic suicide sad song. The whole Monsters are just looking at me. Like, you're in a situation where everybody's just looking at you, like, what did you? And when it was done, I remember Carlos being like, well, he was like, if you're still alive, he's like, we could use your money.
Yo, that happened right when we did the Post comedy thing for Post.
Yeah.
And one of the young ladies who worked at the Improv wanted to play this video, like this tribute video right before the comedy show. It was like super sad. And I was like, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
She's like, why? I said, because we're about to do a comedy show. You about to put on this super sad memorial thing and then be like, all right, guys, I know something bad just happened to your family. Are you ready for these jokes? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I can't even watch Endgame before I do comedy.
She got upset, right? But then she came in late and she's like, all right, Ken, I got it. I understand. Now, afterwards, after we've had our laugh and stuff, you can play it, but don't play it before. You don't want to play
I know how to
right
set the mood.
comedy. Yeah.
In the arms of an angel. It's like, no, I don't want to. Like, I know we're here for this, but I need them to laugh first, and then I need to start reminding people, you know?
Yo, and I want to say that's the song that was on the video.
Man, come on, man.
Song on the video. So, right, it was a good idea, just not before a comedy show.
Yeah, a comedy show is a super specific thing, and it takes a super specific kind of emotions to build it up and get it ready. And if you're not prepared for it, you could literally destroy a comedy show by having the wrong like emotional setup and build up for it. Yeah. And we're about to go to break. We come back. I got a good story about that. And I'm sure you have some stories too of just mood vibes that have killed a comedy show. So I'll be right back with that. You're listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. 104.1. Me and Ken Miller are having our own Jerry Lewis style telethon. If you want to text Real Laughs or Cash App us, we're for the coalition of we're not going to be homeless. And so throw that fetty to me and Ken, and we will make sure we never end up homeless.
Yeah,
and it's all because of y'all. Yeah. I tell you what, and this is a hard one, man. Orlando is a city that has a very visible homeless population, and I know there's people out there that are going to be like, oh, they're not homeless, they're unhoused, they're all this. There's a lot of arguments to what you call people. I think the biggest argument is how you treat people. when you run into homeless people, they all are individuals. They all have a story. They're all human beings, and you can't just write everybody off. A lot of people always think homeless people are just some people have an opinion that homeless people are lazy, that they're all on drugs or this. I've actually met a lot of what's called working homeless, which I didn't know about until I live downtown, so I run into the same people all day long. Some of those
all the
people are
time.
yeah, some of those people are homeless people. Some of those people are people working in the areas I pass. But a dude schooled me one time because it was my homeboy's birthday. We had all this pizza from Anthony's Pizza and stuff left over, and we weren't going to eat that all. We played it up for everybody. You got, and so he was like, "Hey," he was like, "There's a bunch of homeless people that hang out by that Methodist church." He was like, "You want to just take the rest of the pizza over there?" And so I was drunk, so I was already feeling myself like I was going through there, just saving the world. I was like, "I'll do it." I was like, "Oh." And me and my buddy Ty, we went over there and we were like, "Hey, we got all this extra pizza." And we're like, do y'all want it? And I'll be honest, man, and I want to be real. I always feel like I want to make sure I'm not coming across disrespectful. And I know that sounds dumb, but I feel like being like, man, yeah, like, do y'all want this? Is good pizza. I would like to give it to you, but I know I'm not doing much, and I'm not trying to act like I'm this, but I'm also not trying to disrespect you because, I know pride is there. People got pride. But the dude told me as we were handing out pizza to people, he said, a lot of these people got jobs. I said, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "A lot of these people have jobs." He's like, "They just don't have homes." And, that was mind blowing to me at that moment too. And he said, a lot of these people work 5 days a week, 6 days, 2 jobs. They just aren't able to they don't have what they need to get a home and everything. So
it was crazy, bro. That's crazy that you can have 2 jobs and still not be able to put your family in an apartment or a house or a studio. Like that's how high rent is.
Yeah, it's like
even the rent part. It could be the part that they got a criminal background. It could be a part that they, it could be something that they just can't put on an application to get housing.
Yeah, it's like in the 1950s, you were like, "Okay, kid, you're a milkman's assistant. Take tomorrow off to go buy your house, and then come back over here."
Now you got 2 jobs and can't even get something, can't find nowhere to stay. That's crazy. Yeah, dude, it's homeless guys. I mean, you gotta think. I've been here 16 years, and I was working other bar for 10. It was homeless dudes that I had seen for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like the same homeless people for 10 years I saw downtown Orlando. And I knew them. Knew me, knew my first name because I gave them money all the time, or they used to come clean up the other bar.
Or popcorn. A lot of times at the other bar, man, you hook them up with some popcorn and stuff too.
That was the crazy thing, man, that you still see the same homeless people, 10 years later. Like that's crazy to me.
I wonder if they've moved up, like when somebody moves out of being homeless. That's a weird way of saying like moved up or moved out. It's not what I really mean. I mean like when you somehow figure out a way, if that's possible, to not be homeless. How does it feel when you cruising down the area and you see like your old homeless crew? You know, like because you might not you can't help everyone, even if you just trying to help yourself. But that's got to be hard. I tell you what used to get me was, and I always. When the homeless dude came up to like wash your windshield and just smudged it up more, I was like, "You son of a bitch!
Did you just wash my windshield with a Sports Illustrated? That's even a paper.
That's a Snicker bar, bro.
Newspaper. Yeah, right.
You rubbed a Snicker bar on my windshield. Pay up, sucker! Pay up now."
You got nougat. I got nougat all over my windshield, bro.
He just comes straight up with a mud pie, throws it at your windshield. Hey, your windshield dirty.
Yeah, man, he go $1, man. $1. Yeah, dude. It's a homeless. It's a Family Dollar up the street from me, and every time I walk in, it's this homeless lady. But she waits for me to walk out. Hey, you got any money? I said, you got to tell me before I go in because I can get cash back. I'm not. Nobody got cash, man.
Yeah,
nobody carries cash at all. So now when she sees me before I go in, she's always like, "Hey, you got something?" I say, "I get you when I come out."
I always feel bad when I see like a homeless dog because I'm like, I get it, like that's your dog, you got that's your companionship out here, but like People don't love people, but people love dogs. I know I could
Yeah.
get that dog at home. Like, people will let good human beings die on the street. You could be homeless out there with your class A's on, and people are like, "Oh," but I mean, you a three-legged Chihuahua. Somebody's like, "I gotta save
I
it."
gotta save him. Hey,
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite Jolly jokes. And he says about the homeless guy. He said, "You ain't been that desperate. You ain't ate that dog yet." But what made me laugh? He says, "All that poultry over there." He saw the dog
poultry
and
in the
poultry.
dog. Charlie don't know no
He
meat.
said, "Man, you ain't that dog. All that poultry over there. You ain't that." Oh man, he did a guest spot for DL Sunday.
You went and saw DL Hughley, right?
Bro, when I tell you, man, I just feel like when headliners are doing well, they're the nicest people on the planet. Like when
Yeah,
they rich and got money, they don't have a reason to be an asshole, bro.
yeah.
He's such a cool dude, bro. Like so, I go in the back to speak to A Train. Shout out to comedian A Train. If y'all listen to the show, we had him on the show. He found his father on one of them DNA websites.
That's
And
wild.
so I went to go see A Train, and I went in the back because the only time we can smoke cigars in the back if it's somebody's famous.
Yeah,
So I go in the back with my little cigar, and A Train introduced me to DL. He said, "What you smoking?" I said, "I'm smoking a nub, which a little small
yeah.
cigar." He says, "Here, man, take one of my cigars, and you can start smoking that BS." And he gave me a cigar. He said, "Throw that trash away." So the next day I came back. I was like, "Thanks for the cigar." Took a picture with him and then dipped out. But he was a super nice guy, bro. Real nice. He remembered me from the night. He said, "Oh yeah, I remember you. What's up, man? You was smoking that bull last night." And I was like, "Yeah, that was me, bro." But super nice dude, man. But like I said, most of the time when you meet a headliner that's doing well, they're usually good people.
I hate when you're so excited to meet a headliner, and so what some of you guys listening might not know is when you're doing improvs and stuff like that. That's a great run, but some of these guys years before were doing arenas, and now they're doing improvs and stuff, and to them, uh, I've met headliners that you could tell that they're like missing their glory days of arenas. Whereas like when somebody's doing an improv, I'm always excited. That's a great run. And
Yeah.
I've met people that I expected them to like I didn't understand that they weren't happy about what was going on. And you come in the green room and you're all excited and you can just see it in their face that they're like, "This is just a job, kid. I'm out of it." You know? When
Yeah.
you that's why they say don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes, bro.
Don't meet your heroes, bro. Do not meet your heroes,
Hey,
man.
before the break, we were talking about how comedy's a vibe, and you got to set the vibe up correct. And you were telling me how during after like all the murders at Pulse, that you guys were doing a show, and the girl wanted to play like the real sad opening video. I've told a story before on this show before about how me and James Yon were doing a show, and we didn't know it was a charity show because we were on a run. We were on a Thursday through like Saturday run, and the Thursday it's at Snappers. The Thursday was always a charity show. And the charity we were doing for was like a suicide prevention. And before the show, it starts out with the grandmother or the mother of the suicide victim, and she's basically starting out talking, and she's like, my son, or I think my grandson, I can't remember. She's like, we found his body, and she's telling like the whole story. And this is like right before we're about to go up, and she's just talking about how he killed himself. One of the interesting things she says is, I guess he was talking to somebody online, and they were like coaxing him into doing it and stuff. So she's telling this like story that I'm getting involved in. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. And then she's like, but enough about that. You guys are here for comedy. She's like, let's bring our comedians out. And I walk up there and I'm just like, hey. And everybody's wiping tears away, like, hey man, let's laugh. And the room, so like the vibe of the room can set you can have the greatest material in the world. The vibe of the room can set it. And I did a show one time, and it was for this like motorcycle crew that was like one of those like motorcycle organizations that all these professionals are in and stuff, like different people from everywhere. And right before the show, the woman who was like their like house mother for this like organization gets on the mic and she's like, I know that a lot of you are worried about Linda. She's like, she's fighting her cancer. So while we're here laughing, remember that this could be anyone's last moment. And Linda, I wish you were here. And she loved this so much. And she's like, and she can't really hear us right now, but we're fighting that she'll pull through. She's like, so she's like, put your hands together for Linda and for Miguel Cologne. I just came up there like, and literally, as I walked up, somebody's like, "We love you, Linda," and I was like, "Okay."
That's funny, dude. I don't think I've had something like that. I think one of the strangest I had, and this strange to me, I did a gig up in North Florida with Ron Feingold, and me and my wife were the only black people in there. I mean, it was whitey white. And they made us do the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem right before the show.
Let's get it right.
Like we had to stand up, hand over our heart, recite the Pledge of Allegiance. They played the national anthem right like it was a baseball game. Like when I was just like, why?
You do Revelry Retreat, then they played like the Florida anthem.
Yeah. They played the Rough Riders anthem. Yeah. They said, "Oh, we got the black guy here. We got to show him."
They played the anthem, you know.
They played Uptown anthem. I was like, did y'all just play Naughty by Nature Uptown anthem? What, bro? I was just like, but it wasn't like a. I think they might have been one of them VFWs, or one of them lodges.
Yeah,
it was. They were nice to me. They, you know, I was the talent. You know what I mean? They wasn't mean, but still, if you do the Pledge of Allegiance and you do the national anthem, and there's two black people in there, somebody in there done said the N-word once today.
It's funny that like the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem never in the past ever made me think that somebody was going to be real, like super conservative. And now it's funny because I'm like, Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem? Oh man, they're going to get loose with their slurs. You know?
Yeah. Buddy come in with a bald eagle on his shoulder. Like, yeah, this is about to be real clean, bro.
Dressed like George Washington. Just looks at you, kid, and goes, "Get back to work."
I just got off stage, sir.
Yeah. Inside or outside?
Where's the merch table, sir?
Yeah. Get out there and get your big booby black wife to nurse my baby. You know.
And I'm proud to be weird, bro. It was so weird, man. I'm like, what are we doing this for? That's the point.
Oh man, you hear that Lee Greenfield proud to be an American? You're like, man, I hope they're proud of every American.
Yeah.
Hey man, we gotta go. We gotta go to commercial. We'll be back with more Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. The real. Let me start that again. Okay. Start at 3410. Welcome back to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host for the evening, Miguel Cologne Jr., and I am joined in virtual studio with my man, the godfather of Orlando comedy, Mr. Ken Miller. And like we said earlier, there are no parents in the house today. Mike Hurley, he's out. So is James Yon, and so is Jeff Kaufman. So it's just me and Ken's show. And I'm really proud of how well we've stayed on direction so far. Like, you know, we made a move from Jerry Lewis to the homeless, and we're keeping it vibing. You know, we're keeping it moving.
So we do, bro.
Hey, so Ken, let me bring something up. You recently, I saw a post. You are in the Kenan Thompson's comedy contest. What's all that? What's that about? Let me hear about this.
Man, everybody and their mama in the contest.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I saw everybody got accepted. I was like, okay, this is Kenan. This is like a buy here, pay here comedy show. Like, I'm gonna get you in this contest, kid.
Hey, the funny thing about it, so somebody posted about it, so I enter, and when I enter anything, I tell every comedian. I'm not the type of comic.
You told us,
you know, I want everybody to be able to submit for it. So we submit, and then I got a call from a comic, was like, yo, I got accepted. And I was like, well, hold up. Ain't nobody told me nothing yet. And I'm funnier than you.
Yeah, wait.
So yeah, right. So I go to my email, I got accepted. And so the thought was they were just accepting everybody.
Yeah.
That's what the thought was. So a lot
Yeah.
of comedians in Orlando was hating because that's what they do. And they were like, everybody, it's an auto reply. And so the next day, we actually got another email saying, we apologize. Yesterday's email was wrong. We went through and scrubbed and kicked off about 1,500 videos.
Wow.
So it was an auto reply, but then the next day they finally actually went through, and then they was, because it was tons of videos up in like the Florida, and some of them were like terrible. Like it was just
Ken, when I saw some of the people that were, even some of the people that said they got accepted, I was like, oh, at least I know Ken gonna win. You know?
So yeah, so it's weird because they say you're in, but you still have to submit a video for the wild card. And then we got another email saying, well, this is what's going to happen. When they come to your city for the show, wherever the venue is, so if the venue is the Improv, the booker of the venue will get to pick 9 or 10 comedians. Then if you were a wild card, your wild card gets you, if you got a lot of wild card votes, your wild card gets you on the show as well.
Okay.
So that's supposed to be the criteria now. If they come to your city, wherever club is booking it, they pick comedians, and then when they pick the comedians, then the wild card comics get to come on. Because right now I'm leading in the votes for everybody.
Nice. How can people vote? How can people vote for you?
Oh, it's over now.
Okay.
It was like 8 days. They did like voting for like 8 days, and it's closed now. But it was funny, man. Like people in the comment section are weirdos, man. Like comment section people are weird. Like somebody called me corny, and I knew it was a comic.
Yeah.
This how I know it was a comic, because they said material. Like nobody, we say the word material. It's like heard a regular person say, "Yo, I love your material." No, they say, "I love your jokes or your bit or your skit." We say material.
They're like, your type 5 was weak, and I'm just think your material could be a little bit more bigger. I mean, you didn't expound enough, and you didn't understand the economy of words. I'm a plumber, you know.
Yeah. And so after that, I joked about it on Facebook. So I was just calling it the Corny Ass Ken Comedy Tour. Then of course, once you do that, every real corny comedian wants to come and make fake comments.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, it's not funny when you do it. It was funny when I did it. Now you're coming behind me trying to be hacky. So, but yeah, so I don't know. We don't know what's going on with it. It's the most confusing comedy competition I have ever submitted to, and we have no idea what's going on with it. Like no clue. No clue.
I bet you it's gonna be great when Keenan's like, "What am I doing?" No, it's the Kel Mitchell comedy tour, and you got to let Kel crash at your house for a week and get him some work.
He has to pay Airbnb funds.
He has
to still pay to stay there. Yeah.
Hey, whoever could get Kel booked got him a good chance of working. You know?
So that's what that is now, dude. So that's another thing. And then I also been working on this late night set. I recorded. They loved it, but it was too long. So all of last week, bro, I was out hitting mics. I hadn't hit mics in like years. Like every night I was at a mic set for Wednesday and working this set. And hey, man, comedy ain't the same.
Yo, you know what?
It's just not the same, man.
What for me, comedy isn't the same is the fact that, like, and I was just watching Kevin Hart tell a story about Patrice O'Neal, and I didn't come up with those guys, and I didn't come up around that time. Those guys came up in the early 2000s. I came up in like the 2010. But what I do remember was the same thing that Kevin was talking about with Patrice, and he was telling the story that Kevin was doing a set in Boston, and he was bombing. And while he was bombing, all of a sudden Patrice just threw a phone book at him while he was on stage. and almost hit him. And Kevin was like, "What?" And Patrice was like, "Read that. It's got better material." And yeah. And so when I came up in 2010-ish and stuff, guys who I respected who were better comics than me busted my chops hard. And we all I would just sit there and take it and joke on, and if I could joke back, they would love it and laugh. But there was also a lot of afterwards, like, let me tell you what you're doing wrong, or let me tell you what you're doing right, because there was a camaraderie and there was sort of a hierarchy to it. But if you were good, you got enough respect to at least talk to guys and hang out. But there was a camaraderie and a hierarchy where headliners were hanging out with headliners, and then they were and when a headliner who was making money, doing well, and doing what you wanted to do saw your set, they would still take time to tell you what's up, and you would listen, even if you knew in your heart, I'm gonna go do it my way.
Yeah.
You'd listen because you're like, cool, this person's all they're trying to do is give me a little advice that they think is going to benefit me. But now I've noticed comedy is for comedians who, it doesn't matter if they work or if they don't work. It doesn't matter if they're like, we got guys who come in and they'll have like 500,000 Instagram followers and TikToks and blowing up. And they'll try to give advice to the rest of us about what to do for TikTok and Instagram. And there'll be young dudes sitting there like, this dude, what does he know? I'm like, what does he know? He knows how to blow up on this other form of media that we're all trying to figure out. And they're like, he don't know nothing. You know? And it's
but that's the thing, I think, because I'm an old dog that can learn new tricks.
Yeah.
I was talking to a comic the other night about TikTok and
Yeah.
reels and what should I post, and because I need to learn that stuff. But
Yeah.
when you flip it, when you try to talk to some of them about, bro, every last comic had either a joke about eating butt, a joke about being gay or doing something gay, and they aren't gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was the same. It was like the same. They were all the same, and they're all just sad.
Yeah.
They're all just sad comedians. Like, we came up, we were energy comics and have fun and this and that. They're all just sad butt eaters, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
that's it. They just sad dudes. They're sad dudes that eat butt.
Sad butt eaters. Yo, sad ass butt eater.
I don't even know if we can say that on the radio, but when we said it.
Casey, figure it out. But
let me mark this episode.
This
fact, if we can, name this episode "Butt Eater," yo.
Yeah, sad butt eaters. Just crying while they in it. Human centipede in it. Yeah, because I mean, I was shocked though whenever I say younger comics, I don't even mean just age. I always mean younger, meaning young into the game.
Yeah.
Because they can be.
I have to explain that to people too, because it'll be a comic that's old, and I'm like young comics, but they're like, I'm 50. I said, when I say young comic, I'm with you. I'm with how long you've been doing comics.
Yeah, you young to the game. So I'll work with young comics, and some of them will be, and like I said, I expected at first that these young comics weren't taking advice that we had just because they're like, what are these old comics? No, but I'm telling you, when we have some of these big social media celebrities and comics come in trying to drop wisdom on us on a new part of the game that all of us need to learn, and I still see them shunning them, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I remember Ben Brainerd. If you guys don't follow Ben Brainerd, he's been on the show a bunch of times, man. Real good dude. He's blowing up. He did it the right way. He did it his way. He was very smart and meticulous about how he did it. But in the beginning of his comedy career, I remember he sent me an email or sent me a message on Facebook. He was like, hey man, he was like, is there anything that you think you wish you would have known when you started comedy? And so I wrote him back with some stuff. I was like, yeah, one of the biggest things that I'm glad I never got sucked into. I was like, that the comedy scene is super local, but the comedy business is worldwide. Comedy business works about the same way everywhere. The scenes jump around. And I gave him what advice I thought I had. And later on he had told me he had hit up a bunch of people that he liked their work and saw how they were working. But flip it around. I hit him up maybe a year ago when he was really just started to blow up. And I said, hey, man, I was like, is there anything advice you can give me to get better on social media. And my man took the time to write me back meticulously.
Meticulously. I got that. Yeah, he's saying one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't put a price on that. On advice from someone who's doing. Ben Brainerd is doing what I wish I was doing. And the reason I'm not doing it is after getting this letter from Ben Brainerd is because I'm not putting in the work that he put in. You know, and he put this meticulous email letting me know what I needed to do. And you can't put a price on that kind of information, man.
Nope.
You know,
Nope.
And as a comic, it's not about age and it's not about how long somebody's been doing anything. It's just about what they're doing, how they're doing it, where they're doing it, and if you can see that they're hitting it. I've hit up comics that started doing venues that I never even heard of that are lucrative venues, and they're younger in the game than me. And I humbly just ask, hey, how did you get into this? Because that's all it's about, just asking. And everybody's not going to tell you, but for those who will tell you, really just take the time to listen. And my biggest thing is take the time to listen, but you can always choose to not follow their instructions. There's nothing wrong with that if you just think, I don't think that's what I want to do. But take the time to listen, because there's always going to be something valuable there.
Yeah, always. It to this day, bro. Comics will come to me and be like, "Yeah, man, I remember back when I first started. You said this, that, and that, man." And in my head, I'm like, I didn't even know y'all was listening.
Yeah,
I didn't even know you was listening.
You probably don't know this, man. You gave me a piece of advice that I didn't know. I'd only done 3 shows, and I did a show at the Why Not. And that's the one where I tell the story that because I was opening for Jersey, and you don't know, guys, Jersey was sneak a opener in, so he'd pay you $19 and be like, "Hey, I got a new opener," you know. And Ken, you had gone there, and you told when I'd met you there, you said, "I'm gonna call Margaret. You ain't good. You ain't opening no more." And after I did my set, you said, "Okay," and you invited me to do a guest set at Mojo's, which was a bonkers room. And I asked you, I said, "Okay," I go, "Do you want me to do new material?" And you said no. You said when you get invited after somebody saw you do a set, you're invited to come perform that set they just saw. And that's something I didn't know.
Yeah,
you know, I was thinking,
you're not there to do some stuff. I gotta tell people, you're not there to do some stuff you wrote as you was driving to the comedy. Like you had just got cut off in traffic. Ooh, I'm about to talk about this.
Yeah. It's important. And I'm going to tell you something else that Ben Brainerd had put in the letter he wrote me. He said, "Hey, man, if you're going to eat butt happy, not sad." Hey, that concludes our show for the evening. Ken, you going to be anywhere this week, man?
Yeah, Thursday night, man. I'm at the Orlando Improv. Me, Justin Lawson, James John, Jari Wright. And this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 8th and 9th, I will be at Porky's Comedy Club in St. Cloud. Great barbecue, great comedy.
Porky's is the best comedy club in that area that'll ever be. If they open a triple story laugh lounge with water slides and Gabriel Iglesias, they'll never beat Porky's because the food, the people, and the vibe. Yeah. I love that place, man. All right, y'all. Eat butt with a smile. That's the time. On behalf of Ken Miller, Mike Hurley, James Yon, Jeff Kaufman, and myself, you're listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1.